So right today, has already we have discussed a little bit of about the software myths in yesterday class. Now in this class, let me see in detail about each myth. So the myth indicates a assumption or just a general statement or a false view, may be or may not be. All these are the terms called as myth. Now a symbol, another thing called as propaganda misinformation about the confusion. This also be called a myth. So we have three types of myths. One is management myth, second one customer myth, third one practitioner myths. As we discussed in the last class, that each myth having their own functionalities. If you consider the first myth, the management myth, if you consider this one, it focuses on to maintain the budget, the timelines, that is schedules, and the quality. These are the three functionalities has to taken care by the managers in management myths. Coming to the second one, customer myths. Customer myths talks about, it deals with, the main functionality of this myth focuses on any request coming from the next desk in the sense maybe your colleague, maybe the stakeholder, maybe a bank, or maybe the near to the needy or the person who required your help, all comes under next desk. Request from the technical group, request from marketing or sales group, or request from outside of the company who are using your product, all such type of functionalities will take care by this customer in the customer myths. The third one, the functionality of this myth practitioners is the deals with, whenever this practitioners has deals with the believed by the software practitioners have fostered by over 50 years of programming culture, means that this might deals with has the support is required once the delivery has to go ahead, and we have to take that billionaires from the customers, because until unless if you don't have billionaires on a particular products, if you not gain the hearts of the customer, it is very difficult to survey in the market, because you're not releasing only one product throughout your life. Maybe as a company when you are established, or any company managers or the CEOs, they are frequently releasing the different products to the market. So we had to be gain the hearts of the customers. So like the celebrities, they have first they gain the hearts of the peoples. Then they are releasing the different movies, different short films. Then easily they can cope up, because that we becomes first of all they make you as a fans. Once you become fans, there is no other chance to divert from different celebrities. That is the key role, or that is the chashma there where they can play it with the peoples, right? So that's why the fans are more. Then definitely whatever the type of movies or released into the market, definitely it will be click, because you are a fans. So that's the same thing. Now let me discuss one by one. First one, management myths. Management myths, totally we have three different myths out there. Okay, if you see this one, if you see the first one here, the myth talks about. If you see the myth talks about, if you see read the first management myth, we already have a book that's full of standards and procedures for building software. Would not that provide my people with everything they need to know? The meaning of this myth is they are saying that they have a book. In that book, we have is some standards and procedures are available. With the help of this procedures and standards, I can or any can or we can develop a software. Whether this not be helpful to develop a software, that is the myth. Now you already have a textbook of software engineering pressman. Again, why you are listening the class here? The meaning, you are first of all is most of, I don't say that only if you are for attendance purpose. The second is the class. For most of you, first is the class, second is the priority for attendance, right? Even though you have a pressman book, and why don't you study it yourself? Is this enough to pass, or it is enough to get a good marks? The answer for this is the meaning of the mic. That is the thing. But even though we have a books, even though we know the knowledge, even though it is written in English, it is very difficult to understand some of the things. You can understand in one style, but you not understand in actual style, the style which has to be understandable by you. Your style is different, but actual style is different, right? By seeing the title of the movie, by seeing only the gap shifts on that movie, we can't conclude that how the screenplay goes on for the entire 3 hours or 2.5 hour that movie, right? Once until unless you watch that movie, then you will get it. First of all, when you see first time a movie, you can't say you clearly which action will comes first, how the dress sense will be of the heroes and heroines, and how the background things or the what are the scenarios they are using, what are the sceneries they are using over there. Until if you see for 3 or 4 times, then you can be get some grip on that. You can easily say that what are the lyrics of that songs in that movie, what are the dialogues or the all such type of things. When you get all this grip, once you watch for not only for one time, you watch for it 3 or 4 times, then you will get some grip on that. In the same thing, books are available, everything is available. So it is not being that by studying yourself you not get some practical knowledge. So coming to the reality, so this is the mic they are saying. Already I said it, this is an assumption or this is a false view. This is they given. What actually in the reality has happening, the books of standards may very well exist, right? But is it used? Books are there, but whether it is you are going to using, you are writing in the examination, for example, you are writing only your shorthand notes only. How many of you out of the 65 students are preparing a material, a separate material for a particular course from different sources, not only from only one textbook which is set in the syllabus copy? Whether you are viewing or browsing from different websites, whether you are referring the reference books, how many of you, frankly speaking, already you are in the third semester, how many of you are refer reference books in the library? Only if you see out of the 65 students, only 1% is not at all they are seeing the reference book. Because if you are studying a topic, particular topic, if you are following only one book, you will not get more knowledge. If you refer how the same topic has talked in this another book, how did this same topic has talked in the another book, third book, fourth book, fifth book, first website, second website, third website, or any articles, or in a different views. If you see that same topic in the different sources, you will be get expertise that how they are going to be expressing a particular topic to understand clearly. That is the weightage of that one. That is a major difference where IITians, NITians, the IICs, the different universities, what I'm talking about, that IITians in the sense, IIT people, IIT students, NIT students, ISCs, all way there, and the normal university, autonomous colleges students are varying means they are referring different sources. They are understanding in the way that they are totally digesting the concept. But the other university peoples, other autonomous colleges people, I not to talk about the affiliated peoples, affiliated college students, all they are not trying to digesting the things. They are not referring. They are not trying to be, first of all, not applying the concept. Only less percentage, less in the sense 0.5% of the students only, they are making that type of thing. That only the difference. Because they have the libraries, they have the resources, they have the internet, we have also internet, we are also having the textbooks, we are also having the library, everything. But the only the thing is, they are digesting the things, they are applying. And only less people's in other point of the other universities, they are digesting the things and they are applying in the real time. So I request you, refer multiple sources when you are doing, refer multiple sources when you are doing, or when you are studying any type of things. So if you start preparing your own materials by searching for the different sources, this PPTs and this my slides on this Pressman textbook or Somerville textbook, whatever, you can take as one of the reference, one of the resource, and you can search in your own style for refer for the different resources, and you can start doing all that. Okay. The second thing in the reality is, are software practitioners aware of existence? How many of you know that how you are already studied Java, right? Agree? In the last semester. Can you tell me that at least other than the textbook, which you are following as per the curriculum, other than the textbook, can you tell me how many different practical textbooks are there on Java? Like we have Let Us See, right? Let Us See is there. Mostly, most of you know about this one, because even though you not studied C, you had already in the once you completed your MSET or the time of free time when you're joining the first year, you have the knowledge on that, right? You have, most of you have taken the training or in the institution about the C. Let Us See is a practical thing. Like in the same fashion, Java practical book. Can you tell me, other than W3 schools or any other websites, can top websites where we can have a hands-on there? The website automatically gives you a workspace where you can type your program. How many of you are doing such type of thing? How many of you refer that? That type of any textbooks are there, or that type of any websites are there? That is the question is asking. Are software practitioners aware of its existence? Whether really software practitioners, these books are available in the existence, they know it. Does it reflect modern software engineering practices? Now, the textbooks, they are going to talking about that one. It is maybe it's a older versions, and the different versions are there. Now, whether it is suitable to the trend is changing on, the generation is changing on, the technologies is coming into the market very frequently, it is coming, right? So whether it is applicable, whether it is tolerable, that same traditional software engineering practices will be reflected to the modern software engineering practices. Is it complete in the sense that total book is complete, whether no need of to be make update of that one? Different versions like softwares or mobiles are coming into the market, whether the same textbook which is released in the 1998, the same textbook we are studying now itself? No. Is it adaptable? It's the same language what they are going to teaching over there, writing that textbook, whether it is adaptable? Is it streamlined to improve the time to deliver while still maintaining a focus on quality? In many cases, the answers for all these questions is no. So that's why this myth is not a suitable one. The myth is a false view because this is a justification. But is it used? Whether the practitioners are aware about that one, whether it is reflected to the modern software engineering practices, whether the book is complete, whether the book is adoptable, whether the total streamline of current streamline improve the time to deliver while still maintaining a focus on quality. For all this type of questions, the answer most of the questions is no. That is about the myth 1. The myth 2 in the management myth is, if you get behind schedule, if you behind get schedule, in the sense here, get behind schedule, we add more programmers and catch up, sometimes called as Mongolian horde concept. Mongolian horde concept in the sense, what they are saying, if you get behind schedule in the sense like the project want to deliver within 8 months, if it is exceeding the schedule, we can add more programmers. Say for example, that product is handling by 10 programmers. If it is near to the delivering the project or behind the schedule, what they are saying in the management, because management deals with budget, schedule, and the quality. Agree? They are focusing on this. Whether if it is schedule is exceeding, crossing, we can add more number of programmers. Is it enough? Is this enough? That is the mic they are saying. Meaning is, if the work is beyond the schedule, we can add more programmers and catch up. Catch up in the sense, we can complete the things. What actually in the reality? Software development is not a mechanistic process like manufacturing. If you see, already we studied in the characteristics of software, hardware is a manufacturer, but not software, right? Hardware is a way out, but not software. When you have a manufactured thing, you can know what are the steps you need to follow to make a product, to manufacture a particular thing. But in the software, logical thing, that is your ethical things and logical thinking is more important in developing of software. That is the difference between manufacturing and developing side. Physical thing is more in the manufactured thing, logical thing is more in the software. In other words, as part of the Brooks author, he has said in the 1995, adding people to a late software project makes it later. Adding people to a late software project makes it later. The meaning of this one is, if you are adding programmers, well and good, no doubt about that one. Now, who will train to them? Whether really your project, for example, running in Python, or running in the .NET, whether the hiring of the people means taking of the people, programmers, whether really they adjust to the environment, whether they really know about the Python and what's the project going on. Because if you are adding now to adjust in the environment, to know the platform what they are working, it takes time consuming to the new programmers. That's why it will take more delay. It will take, that's a statement has given by Brooks, that adding people to a late software project makes it later. It will be still more late. Even though it is within the timeline, it is not completed, it will be beyond to the schedule, because new programmers doesn't know what to do, how to do. Then they have to again make some training required. Like when you go for the new environment, to adjust, you are in the first year when you're joining the Sri Vidyaniketan Engineering College from your +1, +2 colleges. How much time it takes? Maximum it takes, the time taking is at least 1 month has to taken for you to adjust in the environment. Those who are staying in hostel or day scholars or everybody, it takes 1 month to understand how I need to be molded in the college, how I need to be managed with the security guards, how I need to manage the things, how I need to manage with the faculty, how we need to manage when I come to the late to the college, how I need to manage when I'm not submitting the records in time, observation in times, how I need to be manage the things. For managing, for doing such type of thoughts, it takes minimum 1 month has to take it. So the reality, adding of programs will not solve getting off schedule. It will detail little bit of delay for that. The third and last myth in the management myth is, if I decide to outsource the software project to a third party, I can just relax and let them build it. The meaning here is, if you are getting a requirement, now if I am assigning something to you, an SRS, to submit it, if totally your batches is 3 members, if member 1 and member 2 has done that SRS, collected from different sources or browsing from different, they both of them studied that one. If I ask to the third party and you are saying that the third person saying that one, I just said them, I don't have laptop and I don't have internet, please help me. You please do whatever the sir has said it, the SRS. I will be make just relax. Let them build it. Let them, they do it the SRS. That is the same statement has given in the mic. If I decide to outsource in the sense you are saying to the other 2 members, the software SRS to a third party. Third party means the other 2 persons. You can just relax and let them build it. Let them, they do it. If I ask the third person to explain that SRS, how will be they feel? Definitely, he or she can be trying to manage the things, but in not getting some expertise. What are the sections are available for which type of project they collected the SRS? All such type of answers, they not be able to answer it. Coming to the reality, what will happen in the reality? When I ask to the third person to explain that SRS, if an organization does not understand how to manage and control software projects internally, it will invariably struggle when it outsources software projects. Some other 2 persons are done that one. The third person unable to manage or control that SRS, that software projects internally. So that's why giving to the outsource totally as a consultant, then definitely whatever the issues you are facing from the outsourced software projects, definitely it will be struggle. So that's why at least minimum involvement is required in managing the things. So self-development, self-study, self-building of that is very important in the reality. And the mic is saying that just I'll give that to the third parties and let them do it and just relax. It's not possible. So these are the 3 different myths. First myth is, they are providing a standard book that is enough for building a software. It is not at all possible. The second myth, when you behind the schedule, we can add more number of programs. That also is not possible, because adding the new programmers, it will take delay. The third myth, will just give the software to build to the outsourced third party, and that can relax it. If you are not having a control on manage the current software internally, it is a very difficult task to manage with the customers or stakeholders. Okay, so these are the 3 myths of management. Coming to the next second myth is customer myth. Customer myth. Now see, this customer myth talks about general statement. First myth, customer myth consisting of 2. The first myth is general statement of objective is enough to begin writing programmers. The details can fill in later. The customer myths focus on order, the request from the next desk, request from the developer, request from marketing or sales people, request from outsource company. These are the main responsibilities of customer myth. Now what's the first point they are saying? With the help of the objective, it is enough to begin the program. The details, the later we can collect it later. If you are not clearly understand what's the requirement is there to develop a particular software, if you're not clearly understand, if you're not clearly know what actually the requirements is there, later if you fill it, initially with the objective, if you start working means it's a partial work, because initially the objective is not maybe clear for you. If you start working with the help of the objective, later they will say no, the objective is not like this, the changes is this much is required, this much is required. If you are, they are going to say more number of changes. So what is the reality? In the reality, although a comprehensive and stable statement of requirement is not always possible, an ambiguous statement of objectives is a recipe for disaster. That's what ambiguous means. Multiple copies or multiple things, when they, with the help of only a comprehensive means a total details is not possible, but at least the minimum requirements to start working on that a particular project, we required some set of, not full details, at least 70 to 80% of the details to start writing on the program. If you are not collecting with the help of only a general statement of an objective to start working developing a program, definitely this is a recipe for disaster. Disaster means many number of changes will comes later if you collect the later details. The meaning here is single objective is not enough to start a program. We required a comprehensive or full details possibly to start writing a program. If you not collected a full details of what we require from the stakeholder, from the customer, it goes to a disaster of the software. The second myth in the customer myth is software requirement continually change, but change can easily accommodate because software is flexible. It's not mean that it is a logical thing and anytime I can change. Anytime I can change because it's a software. I can add the things, I can do anything, and later I can change. If you have in your minds in this perspective, that is software requirement continually change. So because it is a continually changing, because it's a logical, only I need to be change a little bit of code, I need to be add some functions over there, I can do the sort of rest of the things later. If you have in your mind like this, then it is a wrong perception for you. The reality, it is true that software requirement is changeable, no doubt about that one, but the impact of change varies with the time at which it is introduced. The impact of change means as much as changes you are going, then definitely it will be a more damage, or it will be a complex to run that software. Like whenever you are doing any operations, any persons are trying for operations, when they found they are doing for kidney operations, if they found their appendix any some sort of like any sort of the thing is there in the appendix operation, parallelly when you are doing the kidney operation, parallelly you can do the again the appendix operation as well, because already you are making surgery for that one, maybe laser surgery or normal surgery. It your cesarean is going on, this cesarean is going to be have already it is make some stitches for your stomach or somewhere in the body. So parallel you can do it. It's not mean that later also we can have the possibility, first we'll do the kidney operation, again after the few months we'll again start the appendix operation, again after a few months again one more operation. Means operation by operation what will happen, it's a very difficult task to the person who face that one. More number of operations deals with more number of effects of that diseases. The same thing, even though it is a possibility is there, because software can change regularly, but it is not that much of comfortable, because as the time varies, the complexity of the software also increases. So these are the two myths. The first myth is simply with this general statement, it's not possible to write the programs. We need some detailed information. Second myth, as the software gives you changes in the software, but it is not recommendable to go always the changes. Coming to the third one, practitioner myths. The practitioner myths totally are four. The first myth talks about once we write the program and get it work, our job is done. Like most of you are doing in your lab, that sir, I got the output. That as I said you that addition of two numbers, 2, 3, you are giving 5. I got the output. That's all. My job is done, and just go for the printouts. That's all. It is not like that. We all need to do lot of test cases. See the reality. Someone once said, the sooner you begin writing code, the longer it will take to get done. As much as soon. Once I said you write a program, write a Python program, on a particular for a prime numbers. What you will do without understanding, analyzing, directly you will start working on like Python program. I need to be import so on so package. Or for the prime numbers, no need to import means directly you start working on like take a variable a equal to b equal to for loop. Directly we start working on that. Sooner you begin writing code, longer will take to get it done. Because first of all, the first phase is what? The analysis or communication. In the communication or analysis, you first of all analyze what is a prime number, what is the input I need to give for that one, what type of sorts of concepts I need to be over use for here, whether conditional statements I need to use or control statement I need to use, variables I need to use, how many variables I need to take, all such type of stuff you have to be do internally. Then only you can start working or doing on that particular program. Then easily you can solve without understanding, without analyzing. Directly you open a notepad or a IDE, Python IDE, and you directly start working on writing on the programming. It takes a lot of time because you don't have a proper direction plan to start writing of that. Industry data indicate that between 60 to 80% of all efforts expended on software will expend it after it delivered to the customer for the first time. Read carefully the statement. It is very useful for you. Industry data indicates the statistics showing that 60 to 80% of all the efforts, whatever the programmers expended on software, will be expended after it is delivered to the customer for the first time. When they first time they sending to the customer the software, they are whatever the efforts they are spending before delivering the product, the more the efforts are doing after delivering the product to the customer. Because hurry you are developing, hurry or the things are going to be. Then if you are fast delivery, we are all the 9 months babies. You are not 8 months babies, right? Hopefully some of, right? So early month baby, like some of you are saying that one. Earlyga puttesaru, early month baby, like this. So earlier means early, doing of early, fast. There is some sort of mistakes. Slowly, it's not mean that slowly you have to do the things. Slowly, we have a smart way we can do it. In a plan way, we can do it. So that are the two drawbacks. Once we have make this myth, once your program has done it work, our job is done. Those are two problems. The second myth in the practitioners is until I get program running, I have no way of accessing its quality. Running in the sense, middle way here, if you see, get the program running, I have no way of accessing its quality. It's not mean always that once you are saying if your program is running successfully, you can't able to access the quality. That's why at each phase, we are going to be review the things from the communication, modeling, construction, testing, deploy. For each phase, if you are assess the quality, definitely coming to the reality, one of the most effective software quality assurance mechanism can be applied from inception of a project is technical review. Already we have talked about the FTR, formal technical review, reviews, FTR, formal technical reviews are there, right? This FTR, we have a technical review at each phase so that we can assess the quality of assurance, whether properly we are developing that software, properly we are make that product in a correct manner or not. So we have to assess based on the technical reviews. Frequently has to be review the things, right? There is a second myth. The third myth in the practitioners is only deliverable work products for a successful project is the working program. Means only deliverable work product for a successful project is the working program. Only deliverable products in the sense, whatever you are delivering the project or software to the customer, that are only the successful project. Coming to the see the reality. A working program is only one part of a software configuration that includes many elements. To work a program, for example, if you develop an app and if you are not able to install in Android or in a Play Store of a Google Play Store, then it's not mean that because of that configuration, because of not supporting of that configuration, it's not mean that your app is waste, your software is waste. Based on app development, software development is one part. The rest of the thing is based on the configuration, based on the requirement to run that project, to run that software. It required a lot of things. So it depends on many things to run that one. Maybe internet connectivity is required, maybe a good configuration of laptop or desktop is required, or a good mobile is required. If you are trying to installing a app in Nokia 2230, which is not a smartphone, then it's not mean that your software is baseless. Your software is not supporting to anything. It is not at all like that. The second reality is a variety of work products such as models, documents, plans provide a foundation for successful engineering and more important guidance for software support. As I said you, these are the total 5 phases: communication, modeling, construction, testing, deployment. Out of that, construction is only one phase. Developing of the software is one phase. The rest of the 4 pillars also be there for developing of that software. It's not mean that the other 4 phases are waste, right? So that's why the second reality is models also be documents, plans, whatever you have, the SRS, all are the success for a engineer. So the myth is a wrong assumption that deliverable work product is not a successful project, even though it is not deliverable in time, deliverable in a fruitful manner, even though the supporting things for developing that software, the supporting things such as models, documents, plans, the configurations, everything is the success for that particular software. The last practitioner myth is myth 4. Software engineering will make us create voluminous and unnecessary documentation and will invariably slow us down. They are saying that one, preparing much more documentation for a particular software is gives invariably slow us down. That is the meaning they are saying. Invariably slow us down means voluminous, huge number of document when you provide that one, it slows down. That is the mind they are saying. The reality is software engineering is not about creating documents, but creating a quality of product. So based on the quality of the product, based on the way you are going to using, because of that code or because of the complexity you are going to be involving into that one, based on that the software will be slow, the process will be slow, the maybe the developing process will be slow. It's not been that because of creating huge number of documents the quality or the working of the software is slow. The second reality is better quality leads to reduce rework. Better quality leads to reduce rework, and reduced rework results in faster delivery times. So better quality, if you release a quality product, definitely it reduce, like as just now we've seen in the customer in the different last month in the practitioner, more efforts are doing once you are delivering the project to the customer. If you are put efforts in the process of before delivering the product to the customer, definitely it leads to rework of the do. So whatever in the which style I will tell you, if you follow the same style, it is very comfortable. If you're not following in the same steps, same style, again many times you are going to be asking to your friends again how to create this cloud, or how to make registration over here, how to do that, how to do this one. If you're not listen carefully, once it is, if you are doing multiple things when you're listening to the class, definitely when you're studying for examination, when I ask any doubts over there, you're definitely unable to give the answer, a proper answer for that question. In the same fashion, if you are focused in a systematic way, focus full on that one, definitely the reduce or rework will be reduced over here. So such a way that faster will deliver to the times. So these are the 4 different myths in the practitioner myth. One says once a program get working, your job is not done. We have to be see such a way that it should be deliverable in time and for different cases. The second myth, program running, we can't, until unless we can't run the program, we can't assess, is a wrong assumption. We can also make review for each phase so that we can assess the quality and mechanisms over there. The third myth is the deliverable product for a successful project is the working program. No, all the pillars to develop the software, such as the models, documents, plans, also be a success for a project. The last myth is creating voluminous of documentation does not leads to slow down the software, because creating the quality does not depends on the documents. It is only the one part. And if you are focusing on the quality, we can reduce the rework. Also, we can deliverable in time faster than the actual time. Okay. So these are about the myths over here.